What's up guys, Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this we're doing my multiple team compilation guide for Kai Raid Boa. I'm a little pressed for time tonight because I didn't have a lot of time to do stuff and build a lot of teams for people, but I did farm out Kai Boa initially, and I got all three versions done really quickly, so I figured I'd just drop it on YouTube as quick as possible for you guys, and it'll be out probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the release of Kai Boa, so I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's talk a little bit about Kai Boa and why she's awesome. So the first thing about Kai Boa that is different than the original Boa, of course, is she is going to be an int character. Still going to be shooter and free spirit, but she's going to be int. She's going to max out at 1391 attack with 2033 HP, and her captain ability is still going to be the same. It's going to boost the attack and HP of free spirit creatures by 2 times. Now, as far as the special ability goes, she is the first Kai Raid to have a different special ability than any other Kai Raid. Now, Kai Coliseums have had slightly different special abilities. They'll have like the original special ability and then something else on top of it, or an improvement of the original special ability. But this is the first Kai Raid with an improved special ability, which is really cool. Now, the original Boa was going to delay for 1 turn and then give a chain lock at 2.5 times for 2 turns, and now it's going to be a chain lock at 2.5 times for 3 turns, which means you can actually take this chain lock, put it in, bring it off in 1 room, and then use it in the final room. So if you were going to use it in the Coliseum, you can use it on stage 4 to kill a boss, and then again in stage 5 to kill a boss, which is kind of cool. That's nice that we're able to bring chain lock into 2 separate rooms with a chain locker. And the Sheik, I believe, is the only 3-turn chain locker besides limited rare recruit Shigi. So I think this is the only chain locker that you can actually bring into multiple rooms. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I'm pretty sure that is, and so that's awesome. This is definitely a must farm because this is a great unit, and this is the first unit of its kind to do so. So I definitely like this unit. I'm going to show you a bunch of different teams that are going to go over what we're going to be having for the Kai Raid Boa. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into teams. This is actually kind of a tricky Kai Raid. So just know that if you are having problems here, it is a little tricky. So don't think that you're going to be left out in the hole by yourself. What I'm doing here is using a double number rare recruit Tashigi captain for the team, and this is probably the recommended team that they wanted us to use for this Kai Raid. And what's really funny is that the Intalk actually does nothing here, and I thought I would be able to use the Intalk, but I completely forgot about when Boa revives, she's actually going to bind a random bottom unit. So if you wanted to bring a different character instead of Tashigi, like an orb booster or a color affinity booster like Hina, then you will be perfectly able to do so, and you'll be totally fine and do a lot of damage here. So definitely a good unit. You definitely have some options as far as units go. You're not going to be limited by the amount of units that you can use here. Auras right here is actually really helpful. You can see on stage 3 when we get paralyzed for 2 turns, and we're gonna pop the Aura special as well as the Diamante special. Now all the ads have a defense up debuff, which is really kind of annoying, and they have it for 2 turns. And what you do is on the stage is you just make sure that you're able to remove the defense up debuff, and you can actually get a little extra damage from the orange. Now, if you don't have your specials up because you don't have like full max specials, or you have a little extra time here because Diamante does delay for a couple turns. And do remember, because these guys are boosted, you are going to get -10 cooldown on your Kairos, your Tashigi, your Diamante, and your Ors. So you will have a lot of cooldown. And when we get into the next room here, we're going to be popping our Tashigi special on the 1 sea lion here, because he does give us an increased damage taken buff. And when we go into the final room here with the boss is actually Boa is actually going to give us a multi-turn chain lock. So that's why Tashigi is really helpful here, is because she actually is able to bring chain lock into the room and makes it so that you can actually have a chain lock when you're in the room. Now, there's not a lot of 2-turn chain lockers that you can bring here, so you can get rid of the chain lock debuff. So Tashigi is a very helpful unit to have here, and definitely helps out a lot when you're doing this raid. I definitely think that it is possible, more than possible, to do this without Tashigi, but not to this level of speed clear. And on the revive, what Boa is going to do is she's going to just do similar things to what she on a normal raid. She's going to bind a random bottom row unit or bottom unit for 99 turns. And on the revive, she's then, of course, going to do what she normally does, which is going to shuffle your orbs. But instead of being to like meet, tandem, and block orbs, it's actually going to be block, int and strength orbs. So then you just use your Tashigi to get orbs and chain lock and you're done. For the Free Spirit version, we're going to be using a Luffy Ace Captain with a Law Friend Captain. And the reason I'm using Luffy Ace Captain with Law Friend Captain is because the Garp special is actually unusable unless you have a Quick Captain. Which is a Quick or Strength Captain, which is actually kind of annoying. But what I found was really interesting is that I actually didn't really need the Garp special, and if you wanted to bring a different unit instead, that would be perfectly fine. And another unit that you could bring would be another Psy unit, or a character that gave color affinity, or another character that gave conditional boosting, or something to that effect, just to give a little extra damage. You are not able to use Orb Boost though, which is really kind of interesting, and you kind of need a little extra damage just to get through this. So the Garb special does help out a little bit, but I don't know if it actually made the difference so that I could clear the boss. Now on stage 3, we're gonna have the normal combo hit barrier on the mini boss, so they're gonna have like a 26 combo hit barrier, and the limited rare Kizaru is actually only really useful for this stage because he provides 7 combo hits. But what I found was really interesting is if you took out the Garp here and bring out another Free Spirit unit that had combo hits and did something else with it, and then brought a 6+ Psy Sabo, if it was fully limit broken, then you would actually have full matching orbs almost every single turn. Because what happens on stage 3 is that they're going to give you an increased strength orb rate and int orb rate. So if you did bring 6+ Sabo here, you would have full board matching orbs because the Sabo is going to give you full int orbs. Now, if you do bring the Garp, then the Garp gives you int and strength. So if you took out Limited Rare Kizaru and put in Garp, 6+ Sabo, then you have full matching orbs every turn. But then you have a problem with killing the middle guy on this stage, and you have just enough combo hits to get through it. So you have 7 plus every combo hit at 4, so that's at 4 times 5, which is 20, so you'll be at 27. So you have just enough combo hits to do damage to this character, but I don't know how long that's going to last. And seeing how you have 1 strength unit in your team, and that unit is going to be at a very high multiplier in the last hit, and Law is kind of exacerbating that last hit, it may be enough damage to get through, so if you wanted to try it that way, you were perfectly alright to do so. And you can see I'm still just doing barely any damage to him, and it takes a little bit longer to get through. Now, Free Spirit was probably the easiest version, and Limited Rare Kizaru is definitely not needed. And you can actually see how weak Limited Rare Kizaru is as a unit because of how useless he was in this particular run. And I thought that was a really weird thing that Bandai did, was making Limited Rare Kizaru a recommended unit here, and I didn't even use his special, which was like kind of dumb. Like, why would you make this unit like that useful, but like useless in this? I don't understand. The only thing I really helpful about Limited Rare Kizaru is that he was quick, so it made it easier to use the Kobe special. But what I could have done is actually switched out to my my Luffy version instead right before, and I would have 3 quick units so I could use the Kobe. Otherwise, this is really the easiest version, so if you are trying to get this done, this Free Spirit version is definitely the easiest version, especially if you do have the Luffy Ace and a Psy Law Friend Captain. Now we get into the room here with the Boa. What you will notice is that when I pop my Luffy Ace, what happens is that she actually removes my Orb Boost, but I retain my Type Boost, which is kind of weird. I don't really understand why that happened. Initially, she's giving you all Tandem, Block, and Meet Orbs, so if you do want to switch those out and get full matching orbs, you can do that there. I thought that was kind of weird that, you know, bringing Kobe here, because he gives you all colored orbs, but then when you pop your Luffy Ace, he gives you all matching orbs. So I really wasn't sure what the whole deal was there. Maybe you're supposed to use Limited Rare Kizaru right away. I don't know. But if you use Kobe here, then Kobe switches all your orbs. So it's very confusing on exactly what you were supposed to do. And you can see where I popped the Garb special here, and I just did it for a little bit of extra damage. And I was actually a little disappointed because my Frankie wasn't up right away. So Frankie was supposed to help me with the healing per turn buff that Boa had. And Boa has a 300 recovery per turn buff that she gets. And this is actually kind of an annoying buff. But you can see she only has about 3 million HP. When she revives, she's going to revive with 150,000 HP. And then she's going to heal after her revive for 300,000, making her total health 450,000. So if you use 1 Law special, it's actually not enough to kill her with just 1 Law special. But if you use Law, then Frankie, it's more than enough. But what you're really supposed to do is pop Frankie first, so that your Frankie will remove the auto heal debuff, so that she doesn't heal after the revive. And it's actually safer to do it that way, because if you do it that way, then if your Frankie does get locked, then you're perfectly safe. And the next and final and most difficult version is the the Cerebral version. The Cerebral version is actually really tough. I was very surprised. I thought it was going to be an okay version and it wasn't going to be that bad. But if you don't have Robin, it can be a little tricky. I can definitely see people having a little bit of difficulty without Robin. You can do it with other characters, and I can see some potential for other characters. But you'll probably need a Robin friend captain in general. And the reason I say that is because you actually need to do a lot of damage, and Robin having a type advantage here is making up for a very significant portion of it. If you did want to use a V2 Rayleigh friend captain, you might actually get a little bit of extra damage. However, the problem in this fight is that you actually are limited to 2 specials, so you can only use 2 specials per turn. So it is a little bit tricky. Now, on the revive, what happens is just a whole mess of annoying things. So the recommended character you're supposed to bring instead of this TS Nami is going to be limited rare recruit Hawkins. And I don't have that dude because, yeah, it's limited rare recruit Hawkins. Yeah, screw that. I mean, I don't want to pull for that guy. Screw that. On turn 3 here, you're actually going to get the 2-turn special limit debuff on you for 99 turns, so that's going to be with you throughout the entire fight. And you're also going to get Bind and Despaired on your captains for 5 turns. And what you're supposed to do is use your Koala here in order to get rid of the Bind and Despair, and it gives you a nice chain boost so that you can actually do enough damage to kill these guys. It also switches your bottom row into Magic and then her own orb into a Recovery Orb, so you can actually do a lot of damage and continuously do damage to these guys. If your specials aren't up, this is another good place to stall, so this is a nice place to get everything done here. Limited Rare Koala, the Valentine Koala is actually really nice because she does retain that orb, so it makes it a little easier for this turn. Stage 4 is very normal. You're going to do the same thing here. Now, what I would recommend doing if you are not confident with your damage here is to take 2 turns to kill these guys. The best way to do that would be to leave the ladies with the swords alive and kill everything else on the field. Make sure you kill the Despair Lady, make sure you kill the Sea Lions, and if you can, kill the Penguin. Both of the ladies on the field will probably hit you for about 7,000 total, maybe 8,000, and it won't be a ton of damage with this Robin team, but because of all the damage reduction you get. But the really annoying one is going to be the Penguin, was going to be the 11-turn debuff, which is a whole mess. But make sure you do pop the Wanda special on this stage before you go into the final room, because that special limit debuff. Now, when you get into the room, Boa is going to shuffle all your orbs into colored orbs, I believe. It could be colored in or any orbs, but I don't think there's block orbs included. And use Sicilian to get matching orbs, and then you're going to use Robin to negate the damage. Now, what I did here is I started my damage with my my Nami, because Nami is not the only non-boosted unit, and then I went into every other unit on the field, and then ended with my Robins. And you can see we do a sizable amount of damage, but it just barely kills her. Do about 3.5 million damage with only 1 real special for damage, so definitely a little bit tricky to get all that damage in. Especially if you need a full board Orb Manipulator. Now, the other thing that's really tricky here is that Boa is going to be immune for 15 turns, so you can't really use Sabo to get a little extra damage here. And on the revive, she's going to switch all your orbs into tandem, meet, or block orbs, and what you're going to do is you pop the TS Nami to remove the Paralyze. The Wanda, luckily, will actually remove 1 turn of paralysis, and since it's a revive paralysis, it actually goes from a 7-turn paralysis down to a 6-turn paralysis, and then Wanda reduces it to 5 turns because of her Sailor ability, and then Nami can get rid of the rest of it. That's the whole thing. Alright guys, well, my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below, as well as the subscribe button down below, so we get lots of support in the channel, and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications of all my videos, make sure you hit the bell notification right next to it so you get notifications every time I drop a video. If you want to check out the last couple videos, they're right over there, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.